Hey, welcome back to another 5-year market trend analysis. This time we'll be discussing January of 2025. And if you're a buyer thinking about possibly buying a home this year, you might want to stick around. I think you're going to be a little bit pleased to see the following graphs. Okay, stick around. Let's get started. All right, here on the first graph, we see that January of 2025 is the green dot, okay, here at the beginning of the graph. And we can see that January 2025 started better than January of 2024 and January of 2023. This is for the number of home sales. So we're starting this year with having more sales in all these three counties combined of Travis, Williamson, and Hayes County. We're combining all those counties, and we're starting this year a little bit better than the previous 2 years, which is always a good indication that the market is actually picking up a little bit. All right. But then what we have on the second graph is actually the sales volume. The sales volume is basically the dollar amount that gets interchanged between buyers and sellers. So this year, if we're having more sales, then that tends to indicate, a higher sales volume as well. It's not always the case. Okay. Sometimes depends on the sales price as well. But for this case, it kind of goes hand in hand. The higher the number of sales that we saw in the previous graph indicates also the sales volume to be a little bit higher. Our following graph over here is the median sales price. All right, so that's where it gets interesting for buyers. And what do we had in 2023? We started at around $449,000, almost $450,000. Starting in 2023, January of 2023. Then we go to January 2024, and then now that's reduced to 427,000. And then now we're starting January 2025 at $410,000 for the median sales price for all the MLS areas, right? All the three counties combined. So if you're a buyer, we're seeing, the median sales price from 2023, 2024, and now 2025. So that's, that begs the question, are we gonna be, reducing the prices again for this year? And then how about next year, 2026, right? Nobody knows, but maybe there might be some buyers that are, sitting on the sideline thinking, well, I'm just gonna, for the past few years, starting all the way in 2022, and then 2023, 2024, 2025, the median sales price keeps coming down for January. So are we going to see next year even lower than this? So who knows? But I'm sure there's a lot of buyers out there thinking that I'm just going to sit tight for another year and then see where the market lands. Well, that could be true, but it could be higher too. Who knows? For the average sales price, we see slightly the same trend. If we go back to 2022, we started 2022 and then 2023, 2024 is the orange line, and then now 2025, the green dot. 2024 and 2025 started very closely together. It's only a few $1,000 difference, from the beginning of the year. We know that last year was a fairly balanced market. The prices didn't really go up too much or came down too far. We see for last year, we're starting the year at about $538,000. And then we ended the year last year in 2024, we ended the year at $567,000. So there was a slightly increase in the year. But then again, this year, we're starting about the same as last year. So interesting to see all 5 years combined here. Well, 4 years plus this month, we can see how crazy the market has been. But, in 2022, that was a crazy time when, there were a ton of offers, multiple offers, lines to see the homes. And then the interest rates double or they increase a lot. And then we started seeing the average sales price come down in 2022. And then even the year before 2021, that was during COVID area. That's when everything started going up. So if you bought a house earlier than 2021, I think you're sitting on a lot of equity. If you're a seller, I think you're definitely sitting on a lot of equity. We're not back to those prices yet. Yes, the prices have come down. The average sales price has come down, but we're not back to previous before 2021. Now, I have gone to presentations for sellers that purchased their home back in 2022. So for those sellers trying to sell right now in 2025, there is a large gap between when they purchased back in 2022 and then now at 2025. It really depends on the month. If we're looking at the end of the year of 2022, well, the year was kind of low already for 2022, and this year 2025 might be actually higher. We might actually see an average higher sales price, higher than 2022, but we don't know that yet, right? But at least from January to January, we're definitely at a lower average sales price compared to 2022 and 2023 and 2024 as well. So that's very interesting to see. For sellers, again, think about when you purchase, and that these graphs should hopefully give you a good indication, a good idea of where you're sitting on the equity. The following graph here is, again, another good news for buyers. Why? Because now we're going in the opposite direction. Now we're higher, we're going up. So we had 2022, this is the number of listings available, right? So the number of choices that a buyer will have, the higher the inventory, more choices, more negotiation power because there's more supply and not so much demand. So that's always good negotiation, a good mix for negotiating better terms for the buyers, right? But again, let's review 2022. Here, very low inventory, and then we go very high inventory to 2023, slightly higher in 2024, and now much higher in 2025. So again, a buyer, this is a good, really good graph for a buyer because you can see that we're having a lot more listings available for you, a lot more choices, a lot more options, a lot more negotiations for a buyer. All right, so the total number of listings has been increased compared to the previous years. We're at the highest listings that we've ever seen in the past 4 or 5 years. Then we have the monthly inventory. Right now we're sitting, again, this is for all MLS areas, okay, 3 counties combined, Williamson, Hayes, and Travis County combined. And we are sitting at about 3.6 months of inventory, which means that if we don't get any new homes on the market, what we have right now in inventory is good for the demand of 3.6 months of demand, right? So what we have right now is good for those buyers for the following few months, okay? So again, another good news here for buyers, we have a lot more inventory right now. So that's always good news. And that's all, folks. I mean, this is it. That's what I wanted to bring and show you where we're starting in 2025. I think if you're a seller, you might be sitting on a lot of equity. It really depends on where you purchase 1 month of the year, and you purchase and then compare that to where we are right now. That might be good news if you bought before 2021. But if you're a buyer and you're looking to get into the market, now might be a good time because we have high number of listings, a high inventory, months of inventory, and then we have the prices, the median and the average sales price actually has been coming down for the past 3 years in a row, 3 or 4 years in a row. So hopefully this is good news, and hopefully this will motivate you a little bit more to get in the market because you're getting good prices with a lot of choices, so a lot of negotiation powers. Thank you, guys. Thanks for joining on this market trend analysis for January 2025. I hope it was useful. If you think you learned something, go ahead and share this video. That will help me a lot. And I'll see you guys on the next one.